Let the sun rise and bring a new day. Let the moon fall and take the night away. Let the love you have for me stay with you each step of the way. Let the sun shine and let the rain go. Let the sky bloom with the rainbow. Stay with me all my life, with you I wanna grow. Well, everyone loves and everyone sighs. Everyone loves and everyone cries. Everyone dreams and everyone strives. But only we have you and I.
It's time. It's time for a change. Door to door we've gone. Number one priority, to get the dunnies and the closes cleaned out. They're stinking, overflowing. The council are refusing to collect them. It's June now. Last winter seems a long way away, dubbed the winter of discontent by media and politicians alike. What was it like for you? Strikes in every part of the country. Rubbish piled up in the streets. Hospitals closed to patients. Bodies piled up in the mortuary. Picket lines everywhere. In the end, the workers got what they were asking for. Decent wage rises for all. And now Margaret Thatcher and her cronies are running the country. God help us now. It was the coldest winter we had seen in 16 years. I didn't need the weather forecasters to tell us that. You saw it. I saw it. We all saw it. All struggles. Outside it was like a winter wonderland. Snow lying 2 feet deep. Ice on the inside of the windows in the morning when you woke up. Having to turn on every source of heating in the house. Electric fire, gas cooker in the kitchen just to heat the house and defrost the ice of the windows. Cost us and you an absolute fortune though, didn't it? My wife Nancy and I used to say that if we came into a wee bit of money, we'd have the heating on day and night, just like normal people would do. Normal people. Are we not normal? Are you not normal? Those winter months weren't totally wasted though. And that's why we're here today. I knew deep down in my gut we had to form a local tenants association if anything was going to be done about the living conditions that we as tenants are forced to endure. We had to do something. I started chapping doors in the snow in my own clothes first. Maureen gave me a cup of tea and a biscuit. Her and Jim were in. No on any committee now, she said. But she's here today, wanting better for her kids. Things for them to do. Nothing for them. That's why they get into trouble. It was the same with the other neighbours. They were in. My ma, who lived down the stairs, wanted to help. Thanks, Ma. And we, Jeannie and Fran, lived here for decades. Help get those repairs sorted. Help get this place tidied up. You've seen it go on and on, haven't you? When we went around collecting the forms, the stink in some of those closes was overpowering from the rotten bags of refuse, the general household waste, especially in this hot weather. Every flat has one outside their door. The council have refused time and time again to collect them. Vermin are scrapping at the bags. We've got to do something. Something ourselves. Before another headline hits like this, front page no less. Vandalism continues to rage in Ferguslie. For fuck's sake. And what have they printed? A photograph of a young boy standing next to a burning couch. Typical of the press just now, isn't it? Painting us in a bad light in order to get their readership and sales up. But here's the thing, folks. I've had the parents of the young boy up at the office. You ready for this? The photographer who took the photo gave the young boy a couple of bob to go to the shop and buy some sweeties. Then he gave him a pack of matches to set the couch alight. When it was blazing, He told the young boy where to stand and took his photograph. Bastards. If they can't get a story, they just make one up. So here's what we want to do. Many of you have stated that the closes are stinking, overflowing with rubbish, and the council are refusing to collect them. Not only stinking and overflowing, it's affecting our health. So we will organise a massive clear out ourselves. Are you in? Yes. Yes. Yes! Let's show the council, the papers, and anyone else who slates us. We do care about our area. Let's do it. And let's do it now. It's 1979, and it's time for a change.
Last night was amazing, Gran. I've got enough sweets to last me until Valentine's Day. I'm so glad Maggie McAllister said I could stay over. Oh, and Pauline next door threw a big party for all the kids in the street, and I gave her the biggest fright when I jumped out and was like, oh my god, photos look amazing, babe. So gel. Wish I'd come. She's changed her tune. That's one of the girls that kind of ruins trick-or-treating last night. So Mum and me haven't long moved house, and she was raging because I invited some girls from a new school back to get ready without asking. And I suppose she was right. There's painters, decorators, carpets off the floors. You can barely squeeze down the hall for some of the boxes. Some of them have your stuff in them. So we all crammed into my room doing our makeup, and it was freezing outside and wet. Mum was like, get a jacket on, missus. You know what she's like. But there was no way I was wearing a jacket and covering up my fabulous costume. So we got to the first door, and I'm like frantically muttering this joke I prepared in my head. When does a sandwich cook? When it's bacon, lettuce and tomato. So I knocked, mouth watering, just thinking about what could be first. Milky bars, Mars bars, lollipops, maybe even candy apples. But there was just silence. So I chapped harder, just praying that it wouldn't be monkey nuts. Silence. So we shouted, trick or treat. They rang the doorbell. I assumed they were just building suspense. Like they were going to jump out and scare us like you used to when we'd come round to yours. But nothing happened. So we went on to the next place, and the next, and the next. Every house in our new town was the same. Every door, no answer. And honestly, I know how Mary and Joseph felt chapping all those doors and nobody'd let them in. But then I thought, where are all the pumpkins? The fake cobwebs? None of the houses were really decorated. It was like a real life ghost town, this place that Mum and I had moved to. And last night I just wanted to be home in Ferguslie, and I wasn't going home with an empty sweet bucket, so I said that we should all go and get the bus there, go trick-or-treating there. And my new pals looked at each other, Gran, like they were scared. Like I'd just said, oh, let's get a Ouija board and contact the devil. What, and chap on people's doors? At night? No chance, is it not pure dodgy there? Defo's too dangerous to be stoating about alone. Nah, no way my mum would let me go. She wouldn't even let me go there during the day. And they all laughed in agreement. They've never even been. You know, they should have dressed as vampires because they well and truly sucked the fun out of that night. And I thought they were becoming my new best pals, Gran. I had to hold back the tears so that I didn't ruin my makeup. Oh, I just miss my wee old town. I mean, it could do with a Nando's or something, but apart from that, it's great. Everyone has each other's backs, don't they? Everyone talks to their neighbours, and it was never boring at Halloween. I mean, where else do you know that has a ghost mobile that drives about giving out tons of sweets? And they even had that huge parade one year, do you remember? And you tripped up over that pumpkin. So I phoned Maggie McAllister, and her mum came and got me and told me I could stay over. And those new girls didn't come with me. Probably scared of me now, eh? I know what you'd say. Hold your head high, be proud of where you're from, and prove the buggers wrong.
It's Friday night, and I've come home from working on the farm. Didn't meet Sandra, as I do every night. I'm walking along Ferguslie Park Avenue. I have a sticking feeling in my belly. I get to the close going up the stairs, and I can tell something's wrong. I go in the door, my brother Joe gets in the lobby. He said, "Don't get my mum on. He's not come home again with his wages." I go into the kitchen. "Hi, Mum. Here's my big money and a wee bit extra." "Thanks, son." I can tell she's crying. She says, "Only chips, eggs and beans, Pat. That's my favourite." Joe comes in. "Here's my big money, Mum, and I've gave you a bit extra." And he grabs me and rubs my head and says, "Well done." That's short-lived. There's the door. Mum goes, "Shh. It's the Provident woman. Debt collector." Mum's faced with fear. She said, "Shh. Kid on 101. No got it this week." I get up and go at the door. I'm nearly crying. I say to the woman, "My mum's no got it this week. I'm sorry." "It's okay, Pat." I go back into the kitchen. "What'd she say?" That's okay." Mum said, "We're not going back to hiding behind chairs when the debt collector comes." Joe works in a factory. I work in a farm and a plunk school to work, and you work 2 jobs, Mum. What? For him to come in drunk with no fucking wages? No. It's not happening anymore. I go away to meet Sandra. When I get there, she asked me, "Where were you?" "I had to go straight home." "Coming down the shows?" She said. "Okay." We can smell the shows before we get to the bottom of the avenue. And when we get to the shows, we go on the waltzers and the water bikes. We go a wee walk. I get my mum a wee bag of chips. When I get to the door, Joe grabs me. Says he's in his bed drunk. He said, "No wages." "No wages," I said. Joe replied, "Fuck it. Come on." Mum said, "No. Don't want you doing this. Got to, Mum, sorry." Joe holds the door open. The lights are out. I can smell drink from the room. I crawl on the floor like the wee war soldier in my comics I get for Yankee Manx at the shop in the West End. I get to his trousers. I'm shitting myself. I go into his pockets, change. That's all. And his fag packet. I open up his fag packet and steal a few fags. Dirty fly bastard, Joe said. Inside his fag packet was his paper money, rolled up like fags. I take the lot, crawl out the room. We go back in the living room where my mum's sitting with the piece and chips I got her. I give her the lot. She's got a tear in her eye. Didn't want that this had to be done. Ma'am, we're working hard alongside you, but food on the table, no drink in his belly. I'm looking for a fag. You're what? My mum said. I mean fresh air, ma'am. Aye, right. Puffin belly, she said. The night my mum found out I smoked.
Valentine's Day 2016. Love is in the air. Except if you live in Ferguslie Park. I was raging. I was absolutely raging. I couldn't believe it. They were the headlines outside the shop on Valentine's Day. Are you feeling in love? I certainly wasn't. If only I'd been patient enough to wait in the ice cream van coming, I'd probably have remained blissfully unaware. Wouldn't you have seen it? What is certain though, if I hadn't seen it, my life would have been a lot less stressful these last 4 years. Funny how seeing something can change your life, isn't it? Ignite something in you. 4 years, eh? Feels a lot longer. At the same time, it feels like the blink of an eye. And you know, I never started any of this in pursuit of fan clubs or notoriety or personal gain, which is probably just as well, really, because it's never really been forthcoming. A never-ending stream of criticism and personalised attacks does take a bit of getting used to. Facetiously labelled Mr. Ferguslie. Aye, I've developed quite a thick skin over the years, so I have. Thanks to the papers, their headlines. Thanks to you. The public slating of our scheme has become such the norm that no one even challenges it anymore. It pisses me off, frankly. When's it going to stop this negative nonsense? Where are the stories about the good things going on in our town? Do people not appreciate the damage that they're doing by peddling this rubbish? What's their agenda? What's your agenda? We're not any worse than neighbouring places, yet you, they, them routinely single us out. Have you ever lived here? Have you ever spent any real time here? 3 months folks sometimes spend here and think they know it all. You know why we're unique? The sense of community spirit that exists here. Arguably unrivaled anywhere else in the country. No doubt stems from decades of denigration, derision and downright prejudice from all directions. And I have to admit it, and not everybody knows this, but it wasn't until I became homeless at 16 and had to live in temporary accommodation for 6 months away from here that I got a real understanding of just how uniquely special we have it here. In 2001, I had a fire in my kitchen. I was left gutted. In more ways than one, I can assure you. But the next morning, though, I literally had a queue of neighbours outside my door offering bits and pieces, cutlery, crockery and the likes that they didn't need anymore. That's not the hallmarks of a horrible place, is it? We genuinely look out for and care about each other here. Can you say that about where you come from? Look at the floods in 1994, day before Christmas. Folk with nothing left to their name, pulling together to help their neighbours. Of course, this was labelled as the usual scum looting their neighbours' houses by the papers. No truth then. Do you want to know the truth today? Folk around here have been collecting their neighbours' daily newspapers, prescriptions and shopping long before the words lockdown and furlough were ever known. When was the last time before lockdown you went and got someone's prescription, did their shopping? And we've been stopping food waste for years. How many places can say that? I regularly get a Tupperware dish of homemade soup handed over the fence by the neighbour. I'll give you some soup away if you want. What other places call community spirit, rallying round to help each other in difficult times, has always been the normal, everyday life here. Born out of necessity, an act of survival. It's shameful that it's taken a global pandemic for us to be recognised as the resourceful, deeply caring community I've always known us to be. And I've tried my damnedest to promote the good things that go on here for 23 years. 23 years, and vanity has never been the driving force. Love has and always will be in the air at Ferguslie Park, Valentine's Day or not. Tell everyone that.
Not seen you around here before. Mr. Ginda yourselves. Not the original Mr. G. That was my dad. It's never easy moving someone new, is it? April 1985. I was just 4 years old when I came here. Pretty cold compared to Wolverhampton. That's where I'm from. Mum and Dad wanted a fresh start. Guess it's what you do from time to time, isn't it? Want a fresh start. See, I thought we'd be going somewhere with sari shops, Bollywood music playing. But no, where did they choose instead? Ferguslie Park, Paisley. But this is not our first shop. This was my dad's venture. He wanted to start a new shop, but this wasn't our first shop. We had another shop just up the other street to the north. I had an amazing bakery next to it. Kathy's Bakery. She used to do a mean tatty scone in square. Tatty scone. That's a potato scone. You're really not from here, are you? Tatties are potatoes. Don't worry, we also struggled with the language when we first came here, but you'll soon get the hang of it. Canny ginger is a can of fizzy juice. Now, I learnt this because one day a guy came in and he asked for a can of ginger. So I gave him a can of ginger beer. Then he got all angry and I don't know why. Turns out he wanted a can of iron brew. And that's when I found out he's like, canny ginger. And I was like, oh. So a can of ginger is a can of fizzy juice. Figgy steak is chopped pork. Pieces are sandwiches. You'll soon get the hang of this. Here, want a can of ginger? Have it on house. People are always giving things here to each other. But yeah, we weren't welcomed at first. There weren't many people that looked like us here at the start. It's different now, but in those early days, I remember I had to camp out in our van with my dad because we got threats that our shop was going to be set on fire. He wasn't going to let that happen. He left India to move to the UK for a new start. He moved his family from Wolverhampton to Paisley for a fresh start. That shop meant everything to him. He wasn't going to let that happen. Him and my mum, they never gave up. Those threats in the early days were empty though, but we did have times later on when the shop was vandalised or on fire. But still, Mum and Dad, they kept on going. Our biggest support was Granny Turner. She used to come in every day for her ascot powder and cake. She had a huge family. Like when Dad used to go to India, they would come in and check on Mum. Kind of felt like part of the family. And then my mum and dad moved away, and then when Dad died, they came to the funeral. I'll never forget that. Oh, here comes Margaret. So we call her Lumberdani. It means matriarch. If you ever need help, Margaret's your woman. She's always helping everyone. Should be up for an OBE. Look, there's a charity bake sale happening in the community centre on Friday. I'll get it covered in the shop. Why don't you come along? I'll introduce you to folk. And here, take your money back. Have it on house today and welcome to our town.
Oh, I remember it vividly. I was furious. My fists were clenched, my face was scarlet with rage. I mean, what would happen if I hit this guy smack in the mouth? 30 days in Court and Vale, or a Duke at Edinburgh Award. I mean, all this guy knew about our town was its reputation. From papers, from people who had only ever visited once. And you're no different. Look, you're coming here to take over my job. And I don't want you going in there making the same mistakes that he did. Now, I was here for 23 years when he came in to make a change. And he had visited, what? Twice. Told me this was an area of deprivation. That very few of the residents were in employment. That children, they couldn't see the work ethic, blah, blah, blah. His opinions, they're not mine. And you're thinking, well, he obviously must have had a plan. A plan? Him? Plan based on what? Oh, research he'd done? Talking with the local community. Had he ever popped into Nellie's and had a chat with her regular customers or spoke with John from the community council? I mean, given a map and a compass, could he actually even find his way about this town? I mean, can you find your way about without your Google Maps? We'll get to know an area, its people. You know, he hit me with a body blow when him and his team came in. He told me I was surplus to requirements and I would be moved. Well, I answered with this. An old Glasgow, double positive. Aye, right. Well, I had no intention of leaving. No, I'd worked hard with the people here for 23 years. I knew them. I cared for them. I trusted them and they trusted me. Well, I got to stay. Until now, and I really don't want to be leaving, but I've got to look after my dad, so I don't want you crashing in there, ruining everything that we've created. You can't go into the scheme with plans and ideas and other people's opinions and from what the papers say. You get to know folk. Find out what they want. Find out what they need. Gain their trust. You know, when I came out of the classroom and I took this home visiting job, I was refused and rejected for weeks. I mean, folk that were suspicious. Why are they sending a teacher into people's homes? Will she tell social work everything that she sees? They never trusted me. Look, I set up a parents' room. I had all the gear. I had coffee, tea, biscuits, the lot. Nobody used it. I felt crap. I set up a parents' meeting, only 2 mums showed. 2. Look, you might get refused and rejected. Gaining trust, it takes effort. And losing it is easy. I was accepted after a wee while and at one of the coffee breaks at a parents' meeting. and I felt part of their family. Trust. Be efficient, honest, and believe in what you have to offer. But most importantly, drop the false negative attitudes. Don't be like him who I wanted to punch in the mouth. Thought he knew everything, wanted to make all these changes. I'll miss this place. People, friendships, the community. But it is over to you now, so just don't ruin what we have.
I mean, she's there, just sitting in my living room. Well, I've escaped here with a fumbled apology and a lament about last night's curry. I've only just met her. Jumped up bloody journalists. Where would you escape to and why? The moon. Dreamer. No, you've won the Art Institute's prize. Again. Why do you think you now almost exclusively paint the moon and skies? Why do you think you now almost exclusively paint the moon and skies? I used to sit at the window, hours just looking, gazing up. My Puccini tape from Mrs. Russo next door, playing away. Said she knew I would like it. Just more proof I was weird. Didn't fit, was different. Just knowing I was low on the ladder of life. Low as far as bottom. Could hear it loud and clear. Still can. There. You hear it? Low. No failure possible. Because nothing is expected. No attempt. Because nothing is expected. No idea of what aspiration is. Because nothing is expected. Not if you're here, Ferguslie. Couldn't resist agreeing. But why do you still live here? Why the moon? Why? I make my living painting. Yeah. My own studio. Installations, exhibitions. San Francisco, painting a commission. And more than I dreamt of. When I was wee, I was too oppressed to dream. It's a good living. Look at these prints. The winter forest sky. The Italian sky. The red storm sky. But folk like me, us, here, this doesn't happen. I am always thinking this is the artwork where I get found out, and I don't need her through there to tell me or to write about it again. I've been kidding myself on ever since 10-year-old Anna dropped into the museum and stared up at a huge painting, and the museum warden, Mr. Smith, for 3 doors down, enlightens me that Urian John Byrne painted that. You know, I guess guess that was a sort of a all things are possible kind of a moment. Wish I could thank Mr. Smith. I didn't have to have a fixed at the bottom place in life. I changed all that. I showed the doubters that folk from here can succeed, can have the same as them. Now I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be succeeding at. The first time I remember painting the sky, Mrs. Russo's brother and me painted together. Him telling me tales of Italia and creating the most beautiful bird I had ever seen. He told me I'd created a beautiful sky. He said the sky was so big, so full of beautiful things. Your sky? I said. I've only ever seen blackbirds and sparrows and that. He asked if I had dreams. Why do you think you now still almost exclusively paint the moon and skies? Do I still feel the need to escape there? No. I need to silence your voice. I have seen Aurora Borealis. Northern Lights, dancing. I have seen and I've painted.
Let the storm bring thunder and lightning, 'cause what I'm feeling's more frightening. I don't know what it is about you that's so enlightening. Let the leaves turn golden brown, 'cause it feels like I'm wearing a crown. When I'm with you, I fly so high I can't come down. Well, everyone laughs and everyone sighs. Everyone loves and everyone cries. Everyone dreams and everyone strives. But only we have you.